Hi there, Robin here, and in this video we are going to be doing a beginning of a class program in the actual audio mixers. We're going to be using the Alto Live 1604 because once you learn how the 16 channel works, you're good for any size up. Now we are also using an analog mixer because I honestly believe that if you're going to learn how to use a mixer, you should learn how to use an analog mixer. Now you could go to a digital mixer, but the only downfall is that you won't have the roadmap in front of you to actually maximize what you can do and how quickly you can do things. Digital mixers are great, they're fun, they're neat, I'm not going to say easy to use, but they pretty much are once you understand how they actually work. The idea is that we have all the outputs somewhere else for the stage, and then we have all the inputs located near the people who need to use them. At the same time, everything's done on the computer. Now you could buy an extended option for digital mixers, which is a console that looks like an analog, but to be honest, it's digital. It just represents the knobs, the feel of what's going on, allows you to group them up in different packages. That's what happens on a digital. But to actually learn how a mixer works and how the knobs interact with each other, it's best to do it on an analog mixer. So that's what we're using here. So the Live 1604 represents everything you really want to learn on a mixer. There are always some extra little features that other brands will have, and that's okay. But now you're just learning one or two things versus the overall mechanics. It's like driving a car. Once you learn how this works, you can take this and go to anybody's mixer and you'll be able to apply what you've learned. It's that easy. It's that straightforward. So what we're going to do first in today's video, this is video number 1, and there will be an actual playlist package for all of these videos once they're completed, and that'll be probably appear somewhere at that point. For now, as we go on every week or so, we're going to add another video into the actual package, which is going to be specifically about a unique feature about the mixer and allowing you to learn that feature and be able to practice. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hook up microphones and equipment, speakers, regardless what I need. We're going to bring that to the table with the cables, and we're going to show how that one unique feature works and how to maximize use out of it. And for today, we're going to go and look at the overall features of the mixer. We're going to cover everything on the mixer. Now remember, if you have a mixer, that's great. It doesn't matter what brand it is. It can be an Alto, it can be a Yamaha, it could be a Behringer, it could be a Soundcraft or a Mackie. Doesn't really matter what brand it is. These features we're going to talk about and how to use them will apply to what you're going to be doing. So let's take a look at the overall mixer and see how it actually works out. So again, 16 channels. Now, if you've been watching videos on mixers, you'll realize that it's very rare that you get 16 microphones for a 16 channel mixer. Though there are some mixers now that are coming out that way, that is a great way to look at it. Also, some mixers now also use what they call combo jacks. Combo jacks is when they incorporate this particular line input and that mic into one single place. It allows them to free up some space to do other things or make the overall mixer smaller. It doesn't make it better or worse. It just changes the overall look of the system. So in this case, this mixer here has 10 mic inputs on it, and then the rest of them are just line inputs. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. So the first 8 are mono channels. Then after that, they're paired into stereo channels. If you use the actual mic inputs on top, these then turn into mono channel. Right across the top, 10 mics or up to 16 lines if we go right to the end to the 16 channels. Gain knobs for all those channels. And then we have the first 6 covered with compressors. Now, one feature I didn't mention is that the first 8 also have line inserts, and that allows us to loop in anything we want in or out. We can put that into the system, so this way we can put a special effects processor or anything else, or a limiter or compressor individually on those particular channels. Like I was just mentioning, the first 6 also have compressors on them, so this really helps on how to limit or maximize somebody's voice. Could go either way. I mean, the idea with a compressor is to not cut somebody's voice off, but bring it in check. So when somebody sings with a very passionate voice and they let it belt out, you want to sound loud, but not be loud. And we'll explain how that works when we cover compressors. Underneath that, this mixer allows you for the first 12 channels to have a low cut filter, which is really cool because that basically takes out the bottom end of that low rumbly sound that you would get that, is there, but, through our own ears, we block that out naturally. It's all kinds of noises around us. If we don't need it, we can cut it out. Then you get a 3-band EQ on the first half, and then on the second half, a 4-band EQ. Why? There's still the same 4 knobs all the way across. what you learn is even though you have 4 knobs right here, what's actually going to happen is that you have a high, a low, and a mid, and the mid comes with a crossover point. So we can go from 100 hertz all the way up to 8 kilohertz, and we'll play with that on its own video, so this way you get to see what's going on there. Now for the rest of it, they do give you a full 4-band EQ. What they're doing is a high mid, a low mid, and a low, which is nice because that's covering up everything else on the actual unit. Then in the green knob section, this is where all our aux options are. This is how we're going to build monitors, that sort of thing. We're going to be able to pull that out of here. Now, number 4 right at the bottom also incorporates the built-in digital effects. So if we want to use the built-in digital effects, that will come in on the actual 4th channel down below here for the aux. Now there is a button located right in the middle, and they're basically indicating to you that this is in reference to a post or pre option. So basically, what are we listening to? Are we listening to this after the EQ and after the gain, all of that? Are we listening to this channel at that point or after that point? So that's what this button will do for us. The last knobs at the very bottom are basically pan for all the mono channels, and then balance left and right for the actual 2-channel setups. Couple of knobs underneath there, which are going to be mute and solo, which are both great buttons to have right up here. You're going to use those an awful lot. We're going to cover them in detail, but the solo buttons allow us to adjust people individually. So if you're setting up a whole band in one shot, but you need to adjust the vocals, you can use the solo button to activate the meters to represent just that one channel. And you can also control functions that are in the monitor options for what's going to go on there. Also, we have a send return option, not just an actual send for the monitors, so we can add special filters or extra effects on there as well. And then we have level controls, which are located right here. So that really takes care of what's going on there. But again, this is just a highlight overview of all the great features that are on here and all the features we're going to be talking about in the upcoming videos. So next is what's going on here. This is another big reason to get to a 16 channel or bigger. You're going to start seeing things like sub channels, or some companies call them buses. It allows you to take all these channels and start grouping them up. So they give you a sub 1, 2 and a sub 3, 4. And that basically allows you to decide if the channel is going to be in one particular package. So let's say the drummer, you can put the drummer in 3 and 4. So put all his mics, 5 or 6, into that package, and then allow you to adjust them independently from here. So instead of making small fine-tune adjustments here, once you dial in the drummer, you can then control it from just these 2 sliders here, not having to touch all of this every single time. Then you can put, let's say you have a choir, you can put the choir in sub 1 and 2, and then you can leave the lead singer, the vocalist, to go straight to the main, and this will drive everybody up as a whole, back and forth. That's what subs. So again, subs will have its own video. That's how important that particular feature and function is all on its own. So all these buttons that are located right above also relate to what these actual sub channels are going to be designated to. All of that's part of this package here. And again, all of this controls right here, these are all in reference to what I'm going to be able to listen to either via my main speakers, my headphones, the control room. All of that's going to be controlled individually here. Effects have its nice little package right here. These are going to cover all the effects that are built in. There's 10 different effects, and each effect has 10 different levels to them, so 99 altogether. Then we're up here with our 9-band graphic equalizer. Again, analog mixer. I like the idea of having a 9-band graphic equalizer. I can really adjust the room, compensate, especially if I'm going to go from place to place. This really allows me to leave everything here alone and do final adjustments to the room right here. Lots of jacks when it comes to the output. First of all, we get 2 headphone jacks on a mixer this size. Then we're going to have our control room options, our aux out sends, and then we can even pull our sub outs individually if we really wanted to. On the back side is where we're going to find our USB attachment, because there is an audio interface. So if you want to actually play this back, you also get to choose where it's going to pull the audio from and where it's going to send the audio to. Then we have all of our main output options on the back, including XLRs, balanced and unbalanced 1/4 inch. It even has last minute, what I call last minute send options. So if I want to send this out to an EQ or to a limiter or to maybe both before it actually goes out to the speakers, I can do that right off the back here and maximize the performance of the sound in the room all starting with this mixer right here. So again, we're going to cover all of those features on individual videos to make it as easy as possible for you to learn how to use not just this mixer, but any mixer, especially one you might already have. So for now, that was the Live 1604 introduction. Probably going to have about 10 classes covering everything that's here, and we're going to roll these out every week over the next period of time. So I'd like to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, and also remember, this will all be in its own playlist. So when the time comes and we have all the videos done, that'll be it. So for now, just hit that like button. I appreciate that very much. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.